All right. Good morning, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today for another episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Of course, it is Thursday, March the 7th, 2019, foul year of our Lord. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Hope you're doing fantastic wherever you happen to be tuning in from. And it seems that the gods have blessed me with good upstream today. So let us just take a moment and appreciate the glory that is consistent KBPS up. Now, I shouldn't have said that out loud because as soon as I say that, we're going to take a hit, man. We're going to take it. I want to say hello to the chat. What's going on? Yo-Yo going crazy in the chat. Eli, good to see you this morning. Bad Andy. Who else do we got? We got Wendy. We got Mr. Heron. We got 18 Mile Creek. Says, hi to all first time in here. Good to see you for your first time, man. Red 5 Golf Gunny. Good to see you, man. Vincent Yag says, can you please check Mr. Bcash, ABC versus BTC on the old Bit Mexico? We will take a gander at that. Let me add that to my thinger. BCH H19 is what it would actually be. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Gypsy Hill, CNB5, good to see you. And DMD says, my truck was found. The guy was driving with no tags. People are crazy. People are crazy. Well, I'm good to see you got your truck back, man. Hopefully it is in full operating condition. All right, so morning stuff, guys. Beginning of stream stuff. Just do some house cleaning right here real quick. Okay, so if you guys are new to the show, if this is your first time here, obviously, I'm Justin Wise. I'm the lead analyst at KrakenCryptocurrency.com. We do the show every day, noon to 2 Central Standard Time, on the weekends, 5 to 7 in the evening. Appreciate it if you guys hit that thumbs up button. Really appreciate the support, guys. If you want to come watch us over on Twitch, twitch.tv/KrakenCrypto. Of course, as always, if you want to trade along with us, the link is at the top of the screen, premium.KrakenCryptocurrency.com, if you'd like to get access to our indicators, signals, and strategies, guys. Okay, with that being said, I do want to give a shout out again to the winners of the X42 masternodes. We've so far confirmed 3 out of 5 of the winners. Well, actually, we've confirmed all 5 of the winners. 3 out of 5 have given us their deposit addresses, and their X42 has been sent out to them. The second 2 were just sent out this morning. And the last 2, I still need you guys to get me your X42 wallet address. So I've been talking with you guys in the email, so just waiting to get that address, guys. Just waiting to get that address. All right, but congratulations to you guys. We are going to be doing a giveaway over the weekend. Again, we're not starting another coin giveaway until Monday. We'll be giving away MMO, another proud supporter of the show, MMO coin. So we'll be starting that on Monday. Same thing, doing Gleam. But we're going to be giving away a Kraken Cryptocurrency t-shirt, guys. So if you guys would like to grab a little bit of free merch, we're going to be having that competition over the weekend. We'll get that started tomorrow, I believe. Tomorrow or Saturday. Got to talk to Scott with exactly how we're going to do that. Okay, that's about it. That's about all I got. Make sure that you guys, let's start over here, guys. Let's head on over here. Make sure that you guys head on over to the KrakenCryptocurrency.com blog. We do got a new article up there by Joe. Is Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey buying $10,000 worth of Bitcoin a week? So make sure you guys go check out that article. As always, great work from that individual. All right, let's check the chat. Beautiful World, hey, what's going on? Thank you, Mr. Upstream. To celebrate this, can you maybe talk a bit about the Fisher Transform today? What are the key points to understand about this indicator? Sure, we will talk about the Fisher Transform. I did have on my schedule, I wanted to talk about a very good indicator that I have used in the past, and is not the current confirmation indicator that I use, but in the interest of giving you guys the tools that you need to be successful, I will be talking about a good indicator today. So if I finish through that and we don't have a lot to talk about later on in the show, we can talk about the Fisher Transform. Okay, let's go ahead and do as we normally do. Let's go take a look at some underlying data metrics for Bitcoin. Going over to coinfarm.online. Currently, for the last 24 hours, pretty much 50-50. Now, I've heard some posts somewhere that longs are on the rise. Longs are on the rise! And while longs are still superior to shorts at this point in time, even on Finex, they're actually very, very close to 50-50. The market is absolutely very close to net neutral. Which is interesting. So, keeping a few things in mind when we're talking about just the analysis of the market. And again, obviously, this is going to be different from initiating trades. But when we talk about the analysis of the general market, we've got a lot of different things to talk about. So let me pull up my earlier post from this morning. All right, so, and we'll get into this, I guess, actually, when we go look at the chart. So let's just note that, for right now, the last 24 hours, not a lot of volume in the last 24 hours. Not a lot of volume right now. So pretty lazy day, to be quite honest with you, man. A lot of indecision in the market. And if we just take a look here at the last 30 minutes, I mean, the most significant spike was about 325,000 to the sell side and about 208,000 to the buy side. All right, so those are market buys, market sells. And if we take a look at the last 24 hours, I mean, we're talking 23 million, 21 million. This is nothing. This is nothing to move a market, man. So it's times like this, and this is very important, guys, because it's times like this that differentiate, in my opinion, a profitable trader from an unprofitable trader, okay? Because as we get into the chart, we're going to see a lot of conflicting signals, right? And depending on how you're trading, whether you're trading price action analysis, whether you have a basket of indicators, 526,000 to the sell side, whichever way that you guys are looking to trade, I would highly recommend that you guys take times like this, when you take indecisive times in the market, or in general, indecisive times in the market in general, whatever market that you're trading, whatever coin that you're trading. Don't throw your money, don't throw your hard-earned money back into the exchange, because that's often what individuals would do. So when there's a lot of volume, when there's a lot of volatility, individuals will tend to do quite well. And they're able to successfully profit, and they're able to catch good trends. They're able to catch good trades, and they make a decent amount of money, because it's not difficult to be on the right side of the market when the market's trending very strongly. All right, unless you're suicidal and you're addicted to reversal trading when the market is clearly trending. But when the market is not clearly trending and you don't have a well-defined reversal strategy, which I think is kind of the crux that most people are looking at, and that's what I've gone at length to develop with things like time transformation and other indicators of mine. Most individuals just end up at times like this in the market throwing their money back into the market. So, I'm seeing what people are saying on Twitter, for example, even though I don't pay a whole lot of attention to that. And I'm seeing what people are posting on TradingView, and people are very confident the price is going to go up. People are very confident the price is going to go down. And it doesn't seem that most individuals are waiting for any kind of confirmation to give them confluence between their technical analysis and their bias or their indicators to be able to take a trade to the upside or the downside. So analysis is one thing. Taking a trade is something very different, because once you click that button and you're in the market, you can't take it back. You're either going to have to exit at a loss or a small gain. And again, we've talked about 5 things that can happen when you enter into the market. You can have a big loss, you can have a small loss, you can have a big win, you can have a small win, or you can break even. So all we need to do as traders, the first step is removing that one element from the equation, taking a big loss. And the way that we remove that element is by proper risk management, proper position sizing, and proper stop loss placement, okay? Also, in my humble opinion, not using static stop losses, and being able to set up a system in some way that you are alerted to when price is coming close to your stop loss level and waiting for confirmation, especially in ranges like this. If you're trying to range trade Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever, and you are using hard stop losses in predictable stop loss areas, you're going to get hunted and you're going to lose money over and over and over again. And this is why I do not use static stop losses. And that's not just because I have the luxury to trade full time. I do have the luxury to sit and be near my computer all day long. That's one of the points of trading for a living. But the reality is that I do my analysis in the morning. I make my trades. I adjust my trades throughout the day. I generally don't spend 24 hours staring at charts all day. And that's because I'm confident in my analysis. I'm confident in my trades. And I prefer to spend my time working on developing new strategies, working on programming algos. I prefer to spend my time shooting videos for the members, which is something I've been doing lately. Getting the next round of my webinar course all fleshed out and done. I do like to take my time and make the videos very professional and very comprehensive. So that's what I like to do with my time. And then obviously talk with partners and spend time and join my family. And that should be the goal of trading. There's 2 ways to look at this. The guy who works 40 hours, 20 or 30 hours a week for minimum wage, obviously he's broke. But the individual who makes 6 figures and works, 80 to 100 hours a week, he's broke too, just in a different way. So trading is one of those rare things where you can find that balance between income and time if you're able to do it successfully over a period of time. So always keep that in mind, guys. There's nothing wrong with day trading. Again, I day traded very, very frequently and still do at certain points in time. But it's about automating certain things. It's about learning a strategy and setting your entire system up so that you don't have to be there physically, to where you can just come when there's a moment of interest. So I have trading view alerts and they go off quite frequently, and I'll be doing something. I'll come, I'll look at the charts, I'll do my analysis. I'll say, okay, is X, Y, and Z true? If so, maybe I'll take a trade. Is X, Y, and Z not true? Then I'm not doing anything, even if this might look juicy. So I just want to caution you guys against that. So it's times like this in the market when people are very, very confident that we're going to go up. People are very, very confident that we're going to go down. This is when most individuals end up. This is when most individuals end up blowing up their accounts, because they're going to take a trade to the upside with no real reason to take a trade to the upside, and they're going to take a trade to the downside with no real reason to take a trade to the downside. Because I would say there's a 95% probability that before the market moves in either direction, when you see a period of flat consolidation like this, you're going to see a significant candle one way or the other, right? And it depends on how that candle closes. If it's a strong candle body close with convincing volume, then price is likely to continue in that direction. There's your confirmation. There's also other indicators and strategies that you can use to give you further confirmation, to give you further confidence that you're entering into a good trade. Or it could end on a fairly significant wick with a larger wick than the candle body on high volume, rejecting from an area of liquidity, and price is likely to go the opposite direction. And a lot of people are going to be obsessed with catching those movements. And don't get me wrong, we do that occasionally. So for example, when we talk about Litecoin last night, we took 2 trades last night in the group. We took Litecoin to the upside. And we hit our first take profit target, booked 50% profit at about 3%, or excuse me, what was that? 3% was to the downside, excuse me. So that was probably 1.5%, excuse me, on average to the upside. Price pulled back, stopped out at our break-even point. We took the trade to the downside. We're able to make 3% to the downside, all right? So there are ways to catch trades like that, right? There are strategies that allow you to catch volatile movements like that. But the idea is setting up for a longer-term trade as well. That's where the majority of the profit is going to be made. So right now, overall, don't see a lot of confirmation for which way to go in the market, okay? So, and we'll get into that when we get into the charts. Looking at the VCDef.io, and I want to clearly point out some different things right here, right? So we are looking at the nearest 5% of price, and instead of just glancing at what the overall MDR is, okay? I'm going to try to dispel, I'm going to try to pierce some leaves or pull some leaves back over a lot of the manipulation that's going on in the different exchanges right here. So let's take a look at the actual individual exchanges, all right, shall we? Let's look at Bitfinex, right? Within 5% of price, we have about 7.7 million to the buy side and only 4.495 million to the sell side, okay? Bullish. Bitstamp, 3.57 million to the buy side, 3.434 million to the sell side. Neutral. Kraken, 3 million to the buy side, 1.5 million to the sell side. Bullish. Binance, 1.63 million to the buy side, 1.654 million to the sell side. Neutral. GDAX, 610,000 to the buy side, 223,000 to the sell side. Bullish. OakX, 519,000 to the buy side, 2.4 million to the sell side. Manipulation. Fuck this exchange. I have no other words. Like literally, fuck this exchange. Sorry. Bittrex, 462,000 to the buy side, 310,000 to the sell side. Poloniex, 439,000 to the buy side, 305,000 to the sell side, and just so on and so on and so on and so on, right? So all the major exchanges do show within 5% of price more buying than selling, okay? Now, likely we're going to see a liquidity grab before price moves strongly in that direction. Doesn't mean it has to happen. We don't have to have a sharp spike down before we move up. We could have already seen that, right? And in general, price would seem to indicate that it would like to go higher, right? We are steadily grinding slower up. There is not a whole lot of volume, right? So generally when you see price moving in a general direction and not a whole lot of volume, there's no indication that that trend is going to change, okay? And you really do need to wait for volume to confirm that price is going to continue in that direction or reverse strongly, right? You do need to see volume and volatility to confirm the next direction of price. But remember, without a significant change in volume or sentiment, the trend is unlikely to change. So when you actually see falling volume coming toward resistance, most people would tell you that that's bearish. In my indication, that's generally, that is by definition neutral, but it leans more toward bullish. It leans more toward the strength of the underlying trend, okay? Because it's going to take volume and volatility, significantly volume, to reverse that trend, all right? To come in and reverse the direction of the trend, because as long as there is a clear trend in one direction or the other, aggressive market participants are going to generally buy on the side of the trend, which means that price is likely to continue in that direction until you get a significant number of sellers to come in and dump on the market, in which case the sentiment of the market changes and the aggression of the market will shift to the downside, okay? So, Blockchain Gains asks, how do I combine the two chats? Magic. Magic. As you guys can see with the coffee mug for today. Sorry, I don't have the Kraken cryptocurrency coffee mug. I was up very, very late last night and woke up late today. So I was working on some stuff last night, and I do. Okay, so I do want to give. I do need to give a shout out, guys. So this might not affect you, but we do have a partner, Spectre Security Coin. Now, they are listed on some different exchanges, right? And they're fantastic team, fantastic community, guys. And I just received a message earlier. There is an exchange out there. This is a smaller exchange, and generally this is generally not what we talk about, because we typically, when we're talking about trading and what I do personally for a living, we're generally talking about larger exchanges. Again, I only trade on Binance and MEX, but there is an exchange out there called Lionbit. Okay, if any of you are familiar with Lionbit, they have apparently exit scammed. Okay, their exchange is offline. Their Twitter has been deleted. The Spectre team has been kicked from their Discord. A lot of their coins are dumping in value. So if you guys are on Lionbit, make sure to check your exchanges and your funds. This is not a test of the public announcement system. This is a genuine warning. So if you guys are experienced with Lionbit, or have exchanges, or have funds on this exchange, make sure to double check that, because most likely you are screwed. So, and I'm sorry to hear about that, guys, but just remember, this is this is one of the dangers when dealing with smaller exchanges. There's good arbitraging opportunities, but you do have to be careful, man. Like, honestly, and this is coming from a strong supporter of cryptocurrency, right? And a strong supporter of the crypto community. There's a lot of issues with these smaller exchanges. Okay, so be very, very, very safe. I still think that the risk to reward, the reward does not outweigh the risk trading on smaller exchanges. Okay. I feel comfortable with the capital that I have on deposit on the exchanges that I have it on. I like the use of margin. I like the use of leverage, so that I don't have to keep as much of my money on the exchange as necessary. This is the purpose of leverage. Okay. So, making sure, and again, it depends on your trading strategy, but if you are willing to increase your risk, and if you're position sizing properly, should not be much of an issue. Making sure that the use of leverage on things like MEX or Deribit allows you, or Kraken, allows you to not have to put all your funds on an exchange than you have to. And this is the same. This goes for traditional equity markets as well. This goes for any kind of exchange. This goes for Forex as well. The use of leverage allows you to reduce your personal counterparty risk by having to deposit less money on the exchange and being able to trade a larger amount. Okay? Leverage is not about jacking up your gains. That's misleading, and that's completely wrong. That's completely false. Leverage allows you to use less margin to take on the correct position size. If you are abusing leverage and you're blowing out your trading account, it's because you don't understand the purpose of leverage. You think that leverage is there so I can just jack up my account, man. I got $10 in this mofo and I'm going to trade $1,000. Rest in peace, sir or ma'am. And you don't respect trading, you don't respect risk management, and you're going to lose all your money, and you deserve to lose all your money. The purpose of leverage is there so that you can properly position size and take on the correct amount of risk. Okay, if you're abusing your leverage and you're taking on larger position sizes than you can afford to take, I don't know what to tell you. All right, if you think back to the 2008 financial crisis. The reason we had such a steep decline is because investment banks and prop firms were leveraged to the hilt, and they blew up their accounts. And literally, they blew up their accounts, and it tore a massive hole in the economy of the United States and the world. If you think that it's going to work out differently for you, then you're wrong. You're just wrong. You cannot take on excessive leverage. You can't take on excessive risk and win consistently. It's just not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen. This is a long game. Trading is a long game. And if you're in here to think that you're going to come in, you're going to 100x long, a 10% movement and be rich, I'm sorry, dude. You're crazy, and you're going to lose all your money eventually. That's not how this game works. This game is about slow, patient, developing a strategy, sticking to that strategy, and earning consistent profit over a long period of time. If price were to pump 20% right now and I wasn't in a long position, the wrong attitude is, oh my God, I missed the pump. We're going to miss the pump. What do we do? Like, it's never going to come again. Forget that, dude. There's always going to be another trade. There's always going to be another movement. You don't always have to be in position. Like that's coming from a public personality, coming from somebody who does this for a while. And I'm sorry, I've been stuck on the screen for a while, but I just want to talk about these stuff. A lot of people come onto the show, and that's totally fine. I get it, man. You guys are here for support and guidance, and I try to provide that to you. But a lot of people come in and they're like, "Hey, man, you're a trader. You do a trading show. So if you don't know which way price is going to go right now, then you don't know anything." I commonly don't know which way price is going to go because I don't have a crystal ball, and nobody does. And if you guys think that the fact that I earn a living as a trader, and that I'm able to live a lifestyle that I'm very, very happy with, and I'm able to, mentor people and, work on automation and just all this stuff that a lot of people aspire to do. It's taken a lot of work, man. It's taken a lot of work, a lot of patience, and I didn't triple, double, I didn't triple my account in 48 hours. When I started trading, I blew out 2 trading accounts, many, many years ago. So, I've been through options. I've been through Forex. I'm now in cryptocurrency. I've been actively trading cryptocurrency since 2016. And I've had to have a lot of potholes on the road to get where I am today. And it's about the long game. It really is. And it's not about knowing which way price is going to go. It's about knowing what you're going to do if this happens. So what is your plan? If price breaks resistance, will you enter a long? How will you enter a long? Where will you manage your risk? Where will you take profit off the table? If price breaks support, will you enter into a short? How will you enter into a short? Where will your stop loss be? What will your position size be? Where will you look to take profit? These are the questions that you need to know in advance. And this is why you need to be keeping a trading journal. It's not about predicting the future. Nobody can do that. We can make a good probability about what price is likely to do. But, and I think that's why most people tune into these shows. But I think that if you're watching the show and if you continue to watch the show, I think that what you'll learn with me and what I'm here to do for you guys and gals is really to help you guys develop your own strategy and learn how to navigate these markets, not spoon feed you, "Hey man, go long." I think that you guys are going to have increased success doing that. And I would be very cautious of any other channel that you tune into where they're like, "Yeah, man, I am the crypto oracle and prices going to the fucking moon, man." Be very careful about that. Okay, guys. Let's go through the chat, man. Freeman's Cryptoverse. Good to see you, man. Blockchain Gain says, "Round of a hand for your hard work and magic." Thank you so much, man. Ronald Vieg says, "Pornography." So Pornograffiti was actually a pretty good album. I think by Extreme 2. I think that was by Extreme 2. That was a pretty good album back in the day. Try refreshing the page. OakX has changed. OakX, so OakX must have been watching. Yeah, so look at that. Look at that. The manipulation has died off. BNB, 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 BNB. Just talk about BNB. Okay, so yeah, that didn't really affect things a whole lot. It seems like that overall, VC definitely wants to tell us that there are more. Okay, so hold on, nearest 5%. It seems like price definitely wants to tell us that there's a negative MDR. But when I look at individual exchanges, in general, things don't look too bad. Actually, we just flipped bearish. Gotta love those buy and sell walls popping up, man. Really, really, really gotta like them. So we had a huge amount of buys just fall off the table. Okay, cool. Awesome. So be careful when you're looking at the VCDEP.io. It's not just OakX that I want to be mad at. It's everything else. Okay, so we're going to ignore that for right now. So we talked about Coin Farm. Oh, look at that. Very little movement. And let's get on over to the actual charts, guys. Okay, got to flip this. Yeah, they must be watching. Okay, so let's look at the schedule. All right, so BTC fundamentals, let's consider that talked about. All right, so we'll do, let us commence with our analysis of Bitcoin. And first, I wanted to actually look at some more fundamentals here. So let's look at, this is BTC USD shorts on the rise, 24,373 shorts. Let's look at BTC longs. On the rise, 28,882 longs. All right. So rising open interest, that's good to see. Good to see for volatility. I would like to see volume rising to meet that. We go over and look at Tether. Not a whole lot of price action, honestly, coming in just yet. But how do we want to qualify this? All right. So we do see the ratio of longs to shorts skewed to the long side still, which most people would tell you is like not a good indication. But generally, when I see that, there's a difference between being at the top of the market cycle, seeing a volume spike and a significant increase in longs, and there's a difference between being in consolidation and being on the verge of a breakout and seeing an increase in longs. Seeing an increase in longs and then seeing an increase in genuine buying pressure is genuinely bullish. And when we look at CoinFarm.online, the market is not overly aggressive to the long side right now. And if we look at longs and shorts, the market is not overly aggressive to the long side right now on Bitfinex, on position longs. The market is generally neutral. If we look at sentiment, generally neutral. If we look at volume, not very impressive. If we look at general price action, pretty neutral. All right, so be careful. All right, so we want to look at the total crypto market cap. Continue our dive down the fundamentals. This is the stuff that I look at every morning, guys. So I want to see where the market cap is. All right, we'll go to the 24-hour market cap. That's like looking at the Bitcoin chart. All right, so what do we see here? Same thing, man. The total market cap seems indecisive, but just in general, man, we do seem to be in an uptrend, all right? We had a pretty significant spike of volume to the downside, and we have a almost larger spike of volume to the upside right here, and consolidating above previous resistance. Falling volume does not indicate a weakness. Falling volume does not indicate an imminent reversal. It is actually generally an indication of strength, right? So we do need to wait for a pretty significant volume spike one way or the other, right? You see a volume spike, convincing candle body close. That is generally your initiation to be in a long position. You see a volume spike and a convincing candle body close, generally your indication to be entering into a short position. However, we did hold this support down here around 120 billion, as you can see right here. So, just in general, all this is doing is confirming for me the price action of Bitcoin, which I'm genuinely looking for to try to give me some inclination of which position I should likely be in. But when we look at, so let's be frank, okay? Let's be frank. As I said this morning, like 2 days of low volatility. And to quote a famous rapper, that's that shit I don't like. Price is slowly grinding its way up to try and close the daily above local resistance. Falling volume is not an indication of strength in an uptrend, but without a volume spike that closes above resistance for a convincing closing, without a significant spike in volume and a convincing close above resistance, it's very hard to say that yes, we're going to fly past resistance. And nothing has really changed, man. We've just had a few days of consolidation. So if we actually go to, well, before I get that, I do want to go over some of these fundamentals first. So we looked at total market cap. We talked about the fact that longs are actually superior to the shorts. If we go look at longs on the daily time frame, we actually do have time transformation giving us a buy signal. Anybody that tells you that you can't do technical analysis on sentiment analysis on sentiment data is dumb. I don't want to say they're dumb. They're just, it's just technical analysis in general is mathematical analysis or probability. It's probability analysis of human sentiment, right? Human actions in the marketplace. So this has been actually a very good indicator. So if you correlate this with price, so this is going back to October. So we had a buy signal in October and we had a sell signal pretty much toward the beginning of January. So this would have put us in both for good trades. And actually, this is the first time that we've gotten a buy signal from the longs. Interestingly enough, though, the shorts also bottomed out. So be cautious, man. The reason why is because when you're looking at just raw sentiment analysis, I think we're entering into a place where trying to base. Okay, how do I put this? I think we're entering into an area of the market where nobody really knows what the hell's going on. People are cheering for a breakout above resistance. People are cheering for a continued downside and a retest of yearly lows. And although I think the latter scenario is likely, it doesn't take any kind of ego or humbleness or humility to just admit that, look, guys, The market's going to tell us which way it's going to go. All we got to do is be patient and try not to just flush our money down the toilet right now when things are pretty freaking indecisive, man. Because things are pretty freaking indecisive right now. So probably the best situation is to not be in a trade. Because if we break to the upside, we've got a lot of reward above us, man. If we break to the downside, we've got a lot of reward to the downside. So just chill, guys. Just chill. But longs and shorts are still both bottomed out, man. And we're just going to see which side of the market takes supremacy. You know, just if I had to look at this as like a liquidity grab, I'd say, man, shorts are really, really low and on the rise. And more significantly, if I had to take a look at this longs, like, we've still got like liquidity to grab into, right? So that's just in general technical analysis. Total market cap seems like it is slowly grinding its way up after pretty much giving it all back to the market. So bottomed on support, had a nice little rebound off of that on high volume. We'll wait to see how that does. Looking at the BLX index on the daily time frame. Now, the BLX index, interestingly enough, could actually posit us a little bit of bearish activity, all right? Just based on horizontal support and resistance. Not horizontal support and resistance, sorry, diagonal support and resistance. Because we do have this symmetrical pattern right here. We do have this symmetrical pattern which generally is a continuation pattern to the downside. So we have 3 tests. We have generally 3 tests on that. The 4th test is a fake breakout to the upside. Generally, we see that on the third or 4th test of a trend line. It will attempt to break to the upside, and if it doesn't confirm, it's a fake out. And what do we see right now? We actually see the BLX index coming back to retest this as resistance. So this is a chart to definitely be keeping your eyes on as well. I think that if the BLX index rejects from this area, or if it closes convincingly above it, then you have pretty strong indication of which direction that we're going. I think a lot of individuals are ignoring indications like this or ignoring charts like this to their own peril. Should we close? I mean, and if you want to be very conservative, you've got that level of 4120, man, which we have not had a daily close above since back in November, toward the end of November, when we initially had that rebound after the significant movement down. And then we've just been overall in this period of consolidation. So breaking above 4120 now at this point in time, I think would be a pretty bullish sign. But if you just want to look at this in a more general way, low, higher, low, that's generally bullish, man. Let's go take a look at the CME futures, and let's go look at the hourly. All right, CME futures, pretty much going back to successfully fill this gap, man. We could go as high as 39.29 and still look at this as liquidity grab to the downside. However, we're right in that zone that I had talked about pretty much. I think the last time I looked at this chart was like a week ago, almost a week ago now. And I had laid out this area right here where we were likely to go and grab for liquidity. And I laid out this level right here of 38.41 as an initiation level. I said, hey guys, if we're above this level, then we're looking pretty darn bullish. We gap down here. You see, we successfully filled that, pulled back to retest it, and then continued on to the upside. So we've got a lot of area here that we can continue to see ascending movements. There's a lot of stuff that does look bullish, man. There's a lot of stuff that does look bullish. I'm not going to argue against that. GBTC almost successfully filling that initial gap that we saw. Actually, no, sorry. This is going back a little bit ago. So, yeah, no, sorry, that is correct. Yep. So GBTC has actually, in all honesty, successfully filled that gap that we were talking about. This is the CME gap. This was the beginning of that extensive decline down that we saw with that big dump from the rejection from the top right here. So GBTC right here has successfully filled the gap. I would say forming a bullish pennant, or excuse me, forming a bullish flag. You guys know how I feel about chart patterns because they're only right 50% of the time. But this, I would argue, does look bullish as well. Consolidation near resistance, higher high, and not a significant decline down. So let's take a look. We'll keep our eye on that. Okay, so we've gone over some of the fundamentals. Let's go back in and look at the charts, guys. And let me pull up in the chat. Jay Constant asks, which desktop wallet is the best? So I think Armory, man. I think Armory is the best thing. Electrum is good too, though. Mac SMC says, or man, I don't know how to say your name, bro. Mass CMC. Mass CMC. I think that's better, man. Usually when you see a huge wall, price is going to move in the opposite direction. They are propping price to fill their positions. In general, that can be true. You will see huge sell wall. I mean, but again, that's not right 100% of the time. You will see huge sell walls apparently and huge buy walls sometimes. And price will continue to move in that direction. So that's another one of those things that's only right like 50% of the time. Generally, what you want to be watching if you're an order flow trader is you're going to be watching what's happening directly before the large wall. Because yeah, you're right. Generally, that large wall is there to scare away traders and to keep price suppressed so that accumulation can happen. But it can also be there to genuinely reject price. So, you can be using that as a trade. Like if there's a huge sell wall there and it's not blasted through, you don't know that sell wall is going to be lifted. The area to watch is the area directly in front, or, so if it's a sell wall directly underneath, if it's a buy wall directly above. If there's a lot of liquidity coming in and front running that wall, then yes, then you are correct. If there's not, then it's a genuine movement in that direction. Okay. What do I think of Neo? Don't have a lot of sorry, I got distracted there for a second. I don't have a strong opinion on Neo. We can take a look at the chart. All right. So I'll just talk about basically what I talked about this morning. So when we look at the daily time frame, there's a couple bullish things, man. Again, consolidation above support, falling volume, which again, most people would have you believe that is an indication of weakness. It's generally not. It's generally an indication that there's not an indication that the trend is going to reverse. So current daily trend is to the upside. So generally you don't trade against the trend. We don't have a strong indication of a reversal, not a big volume spike. And we still have this area of liquidity above us, guys. Now I have updated this just a little bit to be more confluent. So I moved my initiation level up because there was really no reason to plot that level as an initiation level. Really, that initiation level would have been resistance. So, and similarly, why we have taken, I guess that's not super important for the live stream, but anyway, so we do have this area of trapped liquidity right here, where there still are a lot of trapped buyers. I still think this still represents a sell on the first pass through. Technically speaking, the correct setup is to look to sell this region. Now, would I blind sell this region, especially when you could have a lot of liquidity to wick to the upside? FD Broadcasting, thanks so much for the sub, bro. No, Dr. Faz, you actually have that oppositely. So if there's a large buy wall and there's a lot of buying going on directly above that buy wall, that is a sign that wall is fake and that price is going to move to the upside. If there's a buy wall and it's not getting eaten into, then it's a trap and price is likely to plummet to the downside. Now, again, that's just my personal inference from watching order flow and observing order flow analysis. It's kind of one of those things that 60% of the time it works every time. So you definitely want to be basing your trading off of other aspects as well. So that's just a tool in the tool belt to be aware of. So that's something that I have noticed. But again, I do want to caution you guys that be careful of those. Be careful of only one indication. Be careful of that 60% of the time it works every time stuff, which is like chart patterns. That's why I don't really trade chart patterns, because 60% of the time they work every time. That's just not good enough. People want me to take a look at Icon. We'll throw Neo and Icon on here, man. Okay, let's talk about potentially bullish things, all right? Let's talk about potentially bullish things on the daily time frame. So yesterday, we wicked up to grab liquidity, all right? So we made a higher high over the local range high, okay? So this is our range. We have a local trading range, all right? We have a local area of consolidation. And this would seem to indicate that we are breaking above that range and attempting to continue to the upside. We have now, generally when you see this, individuals want to go short. They're saying, oh, look at that. It was a liquidity grab to the upside. Price should, we just liquidated a lot of shorts and price should move violently down from here, which it did do. But then we just completely reverse that, man. It just gets bought up into. And on the daily time frame, look, we do wick down and hold resistance as support. So that's actually a pretty bullish sign, man. I'm not going to lie. I still think that the way up, or excuse me, the way forward is up. All right, so this is the next target, right? Until we see a liquidity grab here and violent rejection, I don't necessarily seeing us strongly rejecting from this area. I don't think that stuff like this, I mean, generally you don't see nice candles like this or like this without seeing something like this, without seeing a nice liquidity grab to the upside. So if you guys will just recall, like back when we were talking about this, and I entered into my short, a lot of people were screaming to continue going up and up and up and up and up. But that's just one of those things where you gotta just hold firm to your analysis, man. So I don't think that if we are going to see a continuation pattern like this, if we are going to start going violently down, and again, I talked about this, man, if this fails, if this level breaks, we've got some significant downside. If this level breaks, then we've completely invalidated this attempt at an uptrend, and I think that we're going to test yearly lows. So if you're being very, very, very conservative, you could technically wait until the break of 35.90. Call it. Sorry, that's not quite correct. 36.50. All right, so 36.50 I think is the last potential area for liquidity on the chart, but I don't see how that area is likely to hold. I don't really see how that area is likely to hold. We've already held support. We've already held support at this level, at that 36.50 level. I don't think that that's going to hold again. It was bought up here. It was bought up here. It was bought up here. It's been bought up twice here. Weak area, not going to hold. And really, I would be pretty aggressive at this point in time. We've already grabbed liquidity down here. All this liquidity has been grabbed. If 3,800 breaks, then I'm going to be in a positional short. It's just that simple, man. If we break 3,800 to the downside and close below it, I'm in a positional short. If we close above 39.70, pretty convincingly, then I'm going to be looking for upside targets, guys. So I do have short-term upside targets right here. And this is just based off the buy signal that time transformation would have given you right here. So the daily did close, pushing the Fisher above the zero line right here. That is a trending buy signal. We can look at other indications that don't necessarily confirm it, but if you were going to take that long signal, that would actually have your stop loss right now at 36.72, upside targets of 39.88, 41.14, and 42.40. But for me, potentially, should we close above 39.70, I'll be in a positional long, and I will be targeting 4,500, 4,600, guys. It's just that simple, man. And I'll be waiting, and I'll be trend trading it. So I'll be using my trending indicators to be out of the market, as well as price action analysis. So right now, really not a strong indication to take a trade. If I was going to take a trade, it would be to the long side. I would not be trying to fight against the trade. I would not be banking that price rejects from here. But in general, just an area where you want to be cautious, man, and not really a reason to be in a trade. Just not really a reason to be in a trade, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, you got that right, man. Mass CMC, only in crypto, man. What is the dark overshadow on the volume indicator? This is just a moving average, and it's just area. So go to volume here. Volume moving average, and we can set this to line. We can set this to histogram. We can set this to area, which is kind of what I like. No significant rhyme or reason for it, man, to be quite honest with you. Take a look at Litecoin. Throw that on there, man, if we get some time. All right, so I think that's nothing's really changed, guys. We've been pretty much saying the same thing. I've been pretty much saying the same thing about Bitcoin for a while. Let's look at some other stuff. We'll look at Ichimoku, which is a fantastic indicator. Looking at Ichimoku, it's tentatively bullish. We are still inside the cloud. Typically, when we get inside the cloud, guys, we expect to see an edge-to-edge trade, right? Which right now would be putting us all the way up to 54.40 or 49.39, depending on how we're moving this forward, right? And the future cloud continues to get a little less bearish, man, as we continue to go. The cloud is starting to twist a little bit, very, very slowly, but I have very conservative cloud settings. Let's get rid of the lines so we can just look at this daily time frame. We are technically holding the Kijun-san as as support. We didn't break outside of the cloud. So if you're looking at this from a trending perspective, you're really not looking for a short until price closes outside of the cloud. We're running into the Tenkan-san, the conversion line right now, as resistance. We'll see if we can break above that. All right. So looking at Ichimoku, it's telling you to be in a long. Looking at our exponential moving averages, again, pretty bullish, man. Holding the 55 exponential moving average, which is the momentum indicator for me. The 21 is above the 55. The 8 is above the 55, holding the 8 as support after that recent down thrust for liquidity. So when you are reversal trading, when you're experiencing high periods of momentum and doing liquidity grabs, things like Ichimoku, things like EMAs are not going to help you out. But when you're trending, they're not bad indicators. They're actually pretty darn good indicators. That's about it, man. That's about it. In general, price action analysis would seem to posit a continued bullish momentum upwards, which I do think is the most likely scenario. Again, we do have that level of liquidity above us, which I think we're going to have to test before we know what's going to happen. If we clear this area and close convincingly above it, it's strong indication to be in a long position. If we reject from this area with a fairly large wick and high volume, then it's a pretty strong indication to be looking for a reversal short. If you're waiting for confirmation to enter into a trending short, you're waiting for a close below 3,800. If you're waiting for strong indications to be entering into a trending long, again, it's that close above 3,970. In your opinion, any strong evidence that the bottom is in? Alts are popping more aggressively now. I would say no. Because, and here's why. Because the only indications that the bottom is in are going to be from reversal indicators. Now, I am a reversal trader on shorter time frames. Okay? But when you're talking about longer time frames, the weekly, the monthly, you're going to get a lot of false signals generally. I don't think, and I could be wrong, and I'd like to be wrong. I'd like to believe. I don't think that we've seen enough accumulation to begin a bullish run. Okay, so is the bottom in? Potentially. It doesn't, and from a macro perspective, from my perspective, it doesn't really matter. What matters to me is the market going to start trending upwards? And the market can't really start trending upwards until we convincingly close above resistance, so local resistance. And even then, I'll be wary. I'll be on the lookout for a bull trap at 4,500, 4,600. Just being realistic, man. The bottom will be in, and I know this is going to tick people off, but the bottom will be convincingly in when we close above significant resistance. And we start entering into a bull trend. But there's always the risk, man. As long as we're below 6,000, there's always a risk of a bull trap and rejection, man. To be quite honest, man. Now, I think that as we start getting closer to 6,000, the idea that we're going to make lower lows becomes very, very, very unrealistic, because at that point, you've probably got too many people that have bought up the bottom and are unwilling to exit their positions at that significant of a loss. So I think that if we can get above, 4,600, 5,000, yeah, most likely the bottom's in. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to go on full bullish run yet, but I do think that it means we'll likely consolidate at a higher level. But below 4,000, man, really below 4,500, it's risky, man. And I wish I had a better answer for that, but that's in general how I look at it. Well, in general, here's another thing too, is that it doesn't really matter. Like, I've talked about this at length on the show. Like, if you're obsessed with catching the bottom, you're likely never going to buy. I talked about, I'm pretty comfortable with accumulating Bitcoin at these levels, looking at spot purchasing price. And I think most individuals should be too. If we just look at historical price action and volatility, I mean, people were wishing that they could just afford to buy like one Bitcoin back when price was 16,000. And now price is down around 3,000, 4,000. And people are saying that it's not cheap enough. So matter of perspective, man. If price isn't cheap enough for you right now, I don't know what to tell you, man. Don't know what to tell you. We've seen two 50% drops. Two 50% drops. Could we drop another 50%? Could. Yeah, it's totally possible. Does that make the current price unattractive? No. No, it really doesn't, man. You got that right, Dr. Faz. No, because Hyperwave. Shut it down, man. Okay, so that's BTC USDT. Now, I want to talk about... hold on, let me see here. Ganesh Chavan, can you comment on the correlation of Litecoin's price to Bitcoin? Yeah, Litecoin's on a tear, man. Litecoin is definitely on a tear. Litecoin's on a tear. Pretty indecisive, man, whether I want to continue. Well, again, we took a trade to the upside. We took a trade to the downside. Out of position now. Pretty uncertain about which direction I want to take this bad boy right here. I'll let this consolidate at a little bit of a higher level and see if I do see distribution. This is, again, there is volume divergence, right? There is volume divergence and significant spikes in volume. So significant spikes in volume and volume divergence is kind of one of those nuanced things where you're like, okay, so the uptrend is kind of running out of steam, but there's still big volume spikes. So any of these big volume spikes can be a reversal indication because they are making higher highs. But in general, this is not starting to look fantastic. I don't think that there's enough gas in the tank to continue growing exponentially. But I've said that about BNB. So again, I've been wrong before. I would like to see some consolidation, right? I'd like to see some consolidation. But yeah, LTC is on a tear. Bitcoin's mostly flat. It happens, man. This is crypto. So people, if you guys like, for example, go look at Doge, man. If you guys would have put your money into Doge at the beginning of the downtrend in November, you'd be up 60% in Bitcoin value. What are my thoughts on the so-called second bear market or the two-dimensional bear market? Price consolidating now just like it was above 6K. Similar break would bring us to low 2K or even below. Fractals. No, I think it's significantly different. I would argue that price action is significantly different. I mean, here you just have lower high after lower high after lower high after lower high and equidistant lows. And here you have lower highs, higher lows, and now a higher high. To be quite honest, it's completely different. This is not a descending triangle anymore. So anybody who's drawing this as a descending triangle or whatever, like, get out of here. Thank you, Ricky Thompson. Yeah, I don't put a lot of stock or faith in Hyperwave. I think it's BS. All right, guys, I got to go grab some water. I'll be back in just a couple minutes, guys, and we're going to look at a very, very powerful indicator that I think you guys, if you don't have a good volume confirmation indicator, or if you're not familiar with using volume or volatility to confirm a trade, especially if you're looking for a trending indication entry, I'm going to give you guys for free, whatever. I'm going to point you guys in the direction of a very powerful indicator that you should probably be using if you don't have a better alternative to it. It's not the best, but it's pretty goddamn good. We're going to look at NEO, we're going to look at Icon, and we're going to look at Litecoin, okay? Hello from Bucharest. What's going on? We're going to take I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break, guys. While I'm gone, why don't you guys head on over it's the website, guys, and I don't think you guys can read it in the time that I'll be gone, but go over to the krakencryptocurrency.com/blog, and you guys can check out Joseph's new addition to the blog, guys. His Twitter CEO, Jack Dorsey, buying $10,000 worth of Bitcoin a week, guys. And don't forget, while I'm gone, keep the conversation going. And if you guys have anything you'd like me to look at when I get back, we will look at that, guys. I'll be back in just a couple minutes. Don't go anywhere, guys. All right, guys, thanks so much for sticking in there, man, and joining me. Again, as always, want to give a big shout out to all the viewers and subscribers and watchers, man. Let me take a brief shout out to thank ITM389. Thanks so much for the follow on Twitch. And let me make sure, for some reason, I think I need to fix my my Streamlabs here, but I want to thank FD Broadcasting and Pablo so much for the subscriptions, man. Thank you so much. On the good old YouTubers. All right, back over to the editor. Oh, I do want to put this in the schedule, so if anybody sees it, they can say. So we did that, we did that, we did that. Okay. All right, so let's go over an indicator, guys. Let's go over an indicator. Restream.io is the magic, yes. Blockchain gains. Do you stream, man? Okay, let's take the lines off the charts, and I'm going to throw this one to you guys. So let me qualify this first. So if you are, and this is going to be controversial, all right? So hold on here. Now, this is a controversial topic. Let me just get into that. Let me just get into that in general. There are, and whatever I say, or people are going to say, "Oh, you're totally wrong." So I'd like to make a nuanced. Bro, super chats should allow to donate in crypto. That's when we know we are mainstream. Yeah, for sure, man. If you go over to Twitch, Twitch is a little bit more set up for for giving us like kind of a warm and welcome crypto community. You can't actually donate in crypto on Twitch. All right, on, man. Well, happy to support. Again, I think I haven't watched a lot of his videos, but he does enjoy. I hear good things about him. So definitely, again, one of the things that I've always tried to do from the outset is that you have a lot of, I don't know, like crypto's so small, man, and there's a lot of people out there who just like, my way is the way. It's my way or the highway. Everybody else sucks. Not really my bag, man. I think crypto's small and struggling, man. I think we all need to try and support each other. Ed McCracken says, trying to learn to be a trader, not a hodler. This has been very helpful. Thanks for all your hard work. Thank you so much, man. I highly appreciate that. Okay, so here we go. Let's get into the controversy. Price action traders are going to say that indicators suck. Okay, and indicator traders are going to say that price action sucks. All right, you're going to hear the same thing from either camp. All right, so price action traders are going to say, look, man, that right there, that was a liquidity grab to a liquidity pool. All right, and I know your indicator is telling you that you should be going long, but this is clearly a stop loss hunt, and we're going lower. Okay, that's what price action traders are going to tell you. Price action traders are going to tell you, well, look, man, look at the length of this candle body right here. And I've done this XYZ analysis right here that lets me know that if price makes 3 descending candles and then V bottoms up, we're going to go up 1 candle and then down 6. That's how it's going. Okay, so that's like price action analysis for you guys. And again, keep this in mind. I do a lot of price action analysis, okay? And they're going to say that, look, man,
all your indicators lag, they're garbage, dude. If you're using a single indicator on your chart, you're an absolute novice, man.
And it's taken me a while, like, I was like that for a while. And it's taken me a while to kind of nuance my opinion in my view. And indicator trader is going to be like, look, bro, your price action trading, it's right 60% of the time. It's right every time. So I can't trust off that. How do you know that was a stop loss hunt? Because it could just be a test pump, man. That wasn't a stop loss hunt. That was a test pump. Price is going higher. So, you know, like it's trading is one of those things, right? Where you never know for sure, man. Where you never know for sure. So my personal strategy. So I've developed time transformation, and I've actually working on it. If you guys want to see, I'll give you guys a test peek. Check this out. So this right here, this bad boy right here is actually the experimental version of time transformation that I'm working on. So I've done a few things. I've run it through a super smoother algorithm to try to smooth it out and get less signals. I've actually been experimenting with a lot of different ways, and I've been doing this for a long time, but just recently, as my proficiency in Pine increases, I've begun to get better at this. So there's a lot of different things that I'm looking to do. I'm going to throw out a lot of just like really banger free advice right now. If you have an indicator that in general sucks, so I don't know, ADX is a good example. Like ADX in general as a trending indicator sucks. Okay. But the way that you would typically trade, and again, I know that a lot of people use ATX differently. Some people would say, well, below 25, you're consolidating, you're looking to buy. Above 25, you're breaking out or you're trending. The traditional way that you use ADX is above and below zero line crossing. All right, that's the traditional way that ADX is used. When ADX crosses above the zero line, that's a trending indication to go long. When ADX crosses below the zero line, that's a trending indication to go short, et cetera, et cetera. Right? And DMI in general sucks. So just my personal opinion. I think there's a lot of better indicators. Now, maybe you can find that magical setting that makes it work really, really well. But ADX has never really worked for me too well. Java TV, what's going on, man? But there's a lot of stuff that I'm doing with time transformation. So I've added the histogram, I've added it to do color changes, and I've super smoothed out the Fisher. Now, I think that I can actually make it better because time transformation works fantastic as a reversal indicator right now. And actually super smoothing it out actually gets you into to moves a little bit later than the traditional time transformation. So this isn't fully released. I'm still working on tweaking it a lot and making some small additions, some small adjustments to the Fisher algo itself. All right. So a lot of fun. But I think the histogram is going to be very important because this can be used as an early out signal. So I'm always looking for things that are going to allow me to catch the top as much as possible. And I'm always looking for things to improve it. I will note that super smoothing it does allow you to catch divergence very, very well. So I'll keep you guys updated on this. Again, this is not this version, but the main version of time transformation is obviously available to subscribers to the group. So, but we're going to talk about using a strategy like the Fisher transform. So this is a souped up version. And I guess the point I wanted to make is the Fisher transform combines lots of different strategies from different indicators that I've used over the years and combines them into one powerful tool. I think this is, for me, this is the best tool that I have for manually trading if you know how to properly use it. And I have a full, almost an hour-long webinar on how to use the time transformation. I will be actually making another webinar for the purposes of using it to trade a trend. So it combines a lot of different elements. Ed says, do you ever take into consideration news and rumors when making trades? Yeah, sometimes. In general, I prefer to stick to straight TA because of risk to reward ratio, right? Because chasing news and chasing rumors takes a lot of time, right? Using a strategy that I've built over a long period of time that I know is profitable does not take me a lot of time. So again, it's about finding, as a trader, it's about finding that nice balance between work and leisure activity, right? So I can continue to work and improve my strategy, spend time with the members in the group, spend time with my family, shoot videos, write new strategies. I need time to do all that stuff. And if I'm constantly watching the news or listening for rumors or trying to, scan Telegram groups, like that will help you catch a few good trades. But I think I would make the argument that taking the time, like just excise that from your life. Okay. Just take that off the table. Like, we don't care what Telegram says. We don't care what TradingView says. We don't care what Twitter says. Like, just take all that time and energy that I see like consume so many people in their daily activities. Just take that time, just cut it out. Just throw it in the trash and use that time to develop a better technical strategy. A simple if this then that strategy. Now, whether that's price action analysis or a basket of indicators or a combination of the two, or looking at sentiment analysis, whatever it is, take the time to develop a strategy to where you can look at the charts, you can look at your tools, and you can just say, oh, is price doing this, this, and this? Okay, I'm going to go in a trade. Is price not doing this, this, and this? No. And I think you're going to find a lot more freedom that way. So again, there's lots of different ways to trade, and I personally don't want to be a slave to the market. I would prefer to come in, check my position, enter a trade if the conditions are met, and that's it. I don't really mess with my position. I don't really, constantly monitor it. So a lot of things can be profitable, but you have to look at it from the lens of being a flesh and blood human. Everything that you do, additionally, is going to consume time and energy. How much time and energy do you have? It's not an infinite resource. So I would recommend that you put your time and energy into something that's very, very worth it. Vitam, price action is king. In general, I agree with you. However, 60% of the time, it's right every time. So I would caution individuals to always have at least, to have some other confirmation analysis, whether that's an indicator or whether that's volume. Volume is generally always what you want to be looking at for volume, for volume and volatility. So there are some indicators that I think you should. There's one indicator that I think everybody should have on their chart at all points in time. Period. No questions asked, and that's average true range. I think average true range is probably. And again, you guys don't always see it, but it's always down here at the bottom of the chart. Average true range is always at the bottom of my screen. It's always there. This is Quadrigo average true range. This is my personal interpretation of average true range. And it's very simple, man. You guys can't see very well because of the way that I have the screen cropped, so you can see what I'm doing, but Quadrigo ATR tells you where your stop loss should be, tells you where your take profit 1, 2, and 3 should be, tells you where your short stop loss should be, shows you where your short take profit 1, 2, and 3 should be. And then it's very simple, man. And this is just, it's consistent, it's repeatable. And then as you can see, I also have average true range on there. So average true range is going to let you know how much should I risk on this trade. In general, where should my stop loss be? Where should my take profit be? What is the market worth entering into right now? Is there enough volatility? Now, I prefer to use volume to confirm entering into a trade, but there's nothing wrong with using volatility because one could make the argument that they're the same thing. They're not quite, but anyway. So with all that said, let's look at an indicator that I want to show you guys, and this is going to be so if you're in TradingView, we're just going to go here, and we are going to search for WADDAH. All right, the indicator is called Waddah Attar Explosion, and the version that I'm going to be using is by Lazy Bear. So shout out to Lazy Bear. He's got some amazing, this dude does yeoman's work on TradingView, right? And he releases his code. You can go in here and edit this and mess with this if you want to. But the way that this works, and I'm going to do something here. Oh, whoops. So I'm going to move this up. I'm going to move this up, and I'm going to move this up. Okay, so there we go. Now we've got time transformation and Waddah Attar Explosion. If you guys haven't heard of this, I just showed you how to get it. Add it to your favorites. It's a very powerful tool, man. And this is going to be used for confirmation. So whenever you get a trending indication, you want to have some kind of, and you don't have to, this is just a recommendation, especially if you're just starting out with trading or if you're looking for confirmation. You're going to get a lot of signals. Any strategy that you use is if it's responsive enough to be able to trade cryptocurrency, because crypto moves fast, man. So again, I've made the argument that all right, so let's refine this a little bit. So Forex, okay? Forex moves slower than crypto. Equities move slower than crypto. When you trade Forex and equity, I don't recommend you trading reversals. Generally, trading reversals and equity and Forex is for suckers. Trading trends in Forex and equities is the winning strategy. That's the personal strategy that I used in Forex. That's the personal strategy that I used in equity. But when you're talking about crypto, the argument to be said is, well, you never know when the market's ranging or trending, man. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you do. In crypto, you do, because you're either trending strong or you're sideways. You're either trending strong or you're sideways, man. Plenty of time. Plenty of time to see when things change, man. So when we're looking for trending confirmations, for example, let's talk about the Fisher transform. So the way that the Fisher transform, and you can use this with time transformation. When the Fisher crosses below the zero line, it's a zero line cross. When the Fisher crosses below the zero line, that is an indication to go short. So when we're looking at the daily time frame, the Fisher would have had you in a short position right here. Okay. However, we look down at Waddah Attar explosion. We don't see that things are bearish. The way this works is, if things are very bearish, this is measuring volume and volatility. Is the volatility, is volume above the moving average? If it is, it's an indication that you should be entering into your short. If it's not, it's an indication that you should not be entering into your trade, because the volume is not there to make it profitable. So, although time transformation would have had you in a short trade here on this candle right here, we get hidden bearish divergence, and then we get a cross under right here. So, again, if you're trading this via reversal strategy, because at this point in time the market is sideways, so potentially you're in a short right here. You don't get a strong sell signal because price did not go overbought, but that's how you can utilize this. But we get an indication to go short right here. Okay, great. We're not really sure about it because Waddah Attar is not confirming the trade. So, but once we get over here on this candle right here, now we look and we're like, oh man, all right, Waddah Attar is confirming that we have some strong downside momentum. And also the Fisher transform is below the zero line. Okay, this is a strong indication to be in a trade. And this would have put you in a trade for quite a while, and would not have had you out of the trade probably until this candle right here. So this is helping filter out all the noise, even the time transformation is giving you on the daily basis. And again, we can adjust the settings on time transformation. We can go in here and we can adjust the cycle length. We can calculate advanced price action to give us better things. I'm just using the default that I use on most assets. So, but pretty powerful tool. You can also look at indications like waxing and waning. So for example, would have had you in here, so you're in a short. Again, kind of like a histogram, it goes orange instead of red, meaning that maybe the momentum is starting to die off. So maybe you exit your trade there, or you take profit and move your stop to break even, which is what I would recommend. And then you get a stronger indication to be in here. So maybe you double up here, you're in for a while, you're taking some profit right here, get a strong indication, you're scaling in, taking some profit, you're scaling in, taking some profit, example, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And depending on how you look at this, if you would have entered into a short, you could just use this as well. So once Waddah goes red and starts trading above the moving average, okay, pretty good. You're probably out on this candle. Why? Because Waddah is below the moving average now, meaning the volume is starting to die off. But if you would have stayed in until Waddah actually flipped bullish, you would have been in a short here, and you would have been out of a short here. So a nice 40% trade. And does time transformation pretty much confirm that? Yes, we're staying below the zero line. We actually get a continuation signal on this candle right here. So very similar to the MACD, but this is just more responsive. We have a cross below zero. So on the close of this daily candle, time transformation is telling us that we should potentially stay in. Now, Waddah is not necessarily confirming that because we're below the moving average, but just different strategies and indications as you can use. But in general, just using Waddah itself would have had you in a short trade right here and would have had you out right there. Now, this is not a strategy that's going to work 100% of the time, but this is a really good indicator on any time frame to confirm any kind of trending trade. All right, to confirm any kind of trending trade. So, for example, we get a bullish crossover right here on this candle right here. All right, time transformation gives you a bullish cross right on this candle. Actually, excuse me. And Waddah confirms it on the very next candle, telling you to be in a long entry, and you have, 21% profit potential. So again, I don't know where you're taking profit on the daily time frame or where you're adjusting your stop loss or anything like that. But yeah, put you in for a good trade, man. Put you in for a good trade. And actually doesn't even tell you to be out of the long trade yet. All right. So Waddah has not flipped bearish. All right. So when we look at something like this, okay, time transformation gives you regular bullish divergence on this candle right here. Tells you to be in a trade right here by giving you a nice bullish crossover, but we're still not above the zero line. So we actually cross above the zero line on this candle right here, and Waddah confirms. So this would have had you in a long trade, right? Putting you in for about 13, almost 18% profit on that actually. If you had entered on this candle, close of this candle, Yeah, you would have about 15% profit potential to the upside. So if you're unsure about trading, because to be honest with you, price action analysis takes a long time to learn, and it's still subjective, man. Price action is still one of those things that's subjective. So if you just are looking for something that on average is going to be successful and is not going to give you the massive returns that something like, I would argue that very accurate and on-point price action analysis can generate for you, but is reliable, consistent, and is going to give you that nice balance between trading profitability and freedom of time, something like Waddah Attar explosion combined with a trending indicator is going to do that for you, okay? You can use this for reversals as well. So for example, say you're trading a reversal. So let's go look at the 3-hour time frame or the 8-hour time frame. All right. Let's actually look at the 8-hour time frame. Okay. If you're looking for trending trades again, all right. So Waddah Attar explosion is okay. Let me take that back. You can use Waddah Attar explosion to scale into positions. So here we are on the 8-hour time frame, where I find time transformation works very well for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So we get buy signals right here at very good times to enter into buy signals. All right, you can use crossovers, or you can use a trailing stop, I think, to be able to maximize your profits. But for example, we get a buy signal here, we get a buy signal here. We probably would have had to take profit up here or break even on the trade, whatever. But we get a buy signal here. And then on this candle right here, okay, on this candle right here, we get another crossover. Potentially, you could wait until this candle right here, to be quite honest with you, because this is where the 8-hour Fisher does go above the zero line on this candle right here, which is this candle right here, and Waddah Attar confirms. So you entered on a reversal. You're going to set your stop loss. And at this point in time, you can either take 50% of your profit off the table, or you could potentially pyramid into a longer position. You could pyramid into a longer to a fuller long position. Okay, scale into a position. Now, in general, my personal trading preference is not to scale into a winning position. I have done it in the past, and I will occasionally do it. But in general, I take 50% of my profit off the table, and I wait for my exit indicators to confirm, or for price action to confirm that I should be out of a trade, to take my profit off the table. But scaling into a position is something that I teach in my webinar series, and it is an alternative if you want to go down that route. A lot of successful traders use that. A lot of successful traders don't use that. So it's just one of those things that's personal preference. Personally, when you're dealing with something that's as volatile as cryptocurrency, that doesn't typically trend as strong lately, and is pretty clear to identify range trading, you can scale into position. So for example, when things go on a tear, and it's pretty easy to identify when things are going on a tear in cryptocurrency. So okay, hopefully I've explained that very well. I think this is a really good indicator. It's not the best in the world, but it's pretty good, man. Out of the gate, with making no adjustments to it. If you're looking to enter into a trend, this is going to be one of your best things. So look for volume to confirm whether there is enough volume, whether there's enough gas in the tank to make entering into a long trade worthwhile. And use ATR to manage your risk. That's 3 indicators that you can put on your chart. So entry indicator for trending, volume confirmation or volatility confirmation, and ATR to manage risk and help you set profit targets and stop loss. If you wanted to really go all out, I would recommend having a second entry confirmation. So let's again, I'm going to show you something that is not the best, but isn't bad. So let's look at something like MACD. Okay, so we get an indication to go potentially long here on time transformation, and price action confirms. And let's look at MACD on that candle. Okay, depending on how you want to do this, you can say on that candle, zoom in here. On that candle, the MACD was above the zero line. Okay, so that's a trending indicator. The histogram was good. So MACD is not the best, man. That's not the best, but that you can use a secondary indicator to confirm your entry if you are going to go down the route of indicators. Which, if you're a beginner, I I do recommend you do. You're going to get there's going to be a lot of noise on this, man. People are going to tell you to stay away from indicators. If you are just starting out in trading and you want to find something that has that nice balance between time, energy, and profitability, don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. There's nothing wrong with using indicators. There's nothing wrong with using indicators. There's nothing wrong with not using indicators, but there's nothing wrong with using indicators. And anybody that tells you that indicators are for plebs is being a snob and probably spends a lot of excessive time staring at charts and obsessing over price action. It's not to say that I don't or haven't or that I'm not good at it. It does form a significant part of my analysis. But it's about finding that nice balance between time and energy. Bad Andy says, what settings are the best for that Waddah? All I've got is a flat red line. So you're going to have trouble using Waddah Attar Explosion on altcoins. It's going to work good on USD pairs. So that is a good question. I'll have to go and actually, you know what? I think I can probably fix that right off the gate. So let's find out. So let's look at Monero, for example. Okay, so yeah, we've got a flat red line. So let's go into Waddah Attar. Let's go to Style and set Precision to 8. Did that fix it? No. Okay, that didn't fix it. So let me take a look through the Pine script. I figured that would fix it if I set the precision to 8. Let's refresh. Yeah, so we're gonna have to zoom in on this, and this is a common problem with altcoins. So if you zoom in, it'll work. If you zoom in, it'll work. So I fixed this with this was an initial issue with time transformation. So I'll tell you what it is. The issue here is this blue line. So plot, yeah, dead zone. All right, so dead zone right here. So we just need to disable this. So copy, new blank indicator script. And disable that. All credit goes to Lazy Bear. All I'm doing is editing one line of the code. Save. Save. Add to chart. There we go. Fixed. So here's what I'll do, man. I will publish that script. Volume and volatility, tags, Waddah. So we'll just do crypto, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, altcoins, volume, volatility. All right. Publish new script, Waddah Attar Explosion, Lazy Bear modified for altcoins. Full credit goes to Lazy Bear for designing this indicator. All I've done is removed a line of code that impaired its resolution, reviewing altcoin to Bitcoin pairings, and publish script. All right, there you guys go. I'll throw the link in the description. Boom. There's the link in the description, guys. All I did was remove that line of code that gave it some issues. Cool. And if you search for Kraken cryptocurrency on TradingView as well, you'll be able to find me as well. So just go to TradingView and just search people, type in Kraken cryptocurrency. That's us right there. Click. Do stuff. Do stuff. All right, maybe if we search for Waddah Attar explosion and search for scripts. Search. It's not showing up. Maybe it's going to take a while to propagate across the network. Let's just search for Waddah. It takes some time to show up, man. Anyways, you guys can use that link. Yeah, all I can say is Lazy Bear is not lazy, dude. That dude does yeoman's work on a daily basis. Not gonna lie to you, I kind of want to get back into my Litecoin short. Made some nice profit off that last night, but anyway, so there's okay, so that's Waddah Attar explosion. So go play with that, guys. And you know, I'd like to know. Come back. Feel free to reference this video, man, and feel free to come back and tell me like how it works out for you. And come in the Discord, man. Post some charts, guys. I'd love to hear it. Now, listen. Unfortunately, it's 1:54, and I have to go at 2, so I'm not gonna have time to look at Neo, ICX, or really Litecoin. Unfortunately, I apologize, man. I kind of waxed too long about Waddah Attar explosion, which I think was good though, and I think we talked about a lot of important stuff, guys. So play around with that. Let me know what you think, what your strategy around it is. There's all different kinds of ways. Try different settings, and hopefully you find that modification that I made useful. I will post the link in the description. Copy link address, and I will actually put that in the description of the video right now.
More trading opportunities from small market movements. Open and
Shut up. Don't care about NASDAQ. Binary options. Yeah, for trending. For trending, Dr. Faz. Yeah, for sure. That's so okay. Waddah Attar is good. I'm working on something that I think is a little bit more responsive to crypto, and that's going to be included as either an add-on. I'm working on incorporating into the same thing, because when you start putting too much in one indicator panel, it starts getting a little clunky. But it's either going to be an add-on, the volume confirmation indicator for time transformation trending. As you can see right there, I published it now because that was on the panel right here. But this is the sneak peek of the next version of time transformation. So when I publish that, it's going to have volume confirmation in there as well. Okay, so There we go. Okay, there's the link. Close that. Okay, cool. I added that to the description, and my description is too long. Shoot. Delete. This is the issue that I kind of have when we put the timestamps in. Oh yeah, Jasper I think is on vacation, so no timestamps today. I don't think. If anybody want, I should have asked that at the beginning, man. All right. Yeah, Attar explosion measures volume and volatility. Norbert Chong says, shouldn't these utility tokens have a set value, a fixed price? Isn't it madness that we trade utility tokens like they are equities or stocks? No, not necessarily, because essentially all you're doing is speculating on whether, when you're speculating on the native token of a platform or whatever service, you're inherently speculating on the underlying value of that platform, security, or not service, but of that platform or service. So it's since you can't speculate on I think STOs are going to be the next big thing, but that will allow you to directly speculate on the value of a stock, but not of a stock, but of a project or service that a project provides. But yeah, man, tokens are just speculation, man. And we're kind of in a new market cycle where its manipulation is on the rise, and again, that's why I think reversal trading is your best bet. But I digress. But no, I don't think they should have a set value. It'd probably make life easy, but life is not easy. All right, guys. So it's 1:59. I gotta go, man. I apologize, guys. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the show. Let me do the regular end of stuff. Let me do the regular. Yeah, Lazy Bear has a description of how to use that. And again, just Google's your friend, guys. Waddah Attar explosion. Okay, end of show, guys. All right. I do want to thank you guys so much for joining me for another episode of Breaking Bitcoin. Hopefully I've helped crack some cryptocurrency for you guys. Hopefully I've helped peel some scales back, and hopefully you guys have learned and benefited from the show today. I do got to get running. I've got kind of an important thing to do today. I do want to give a shout out to the partners and supporters of the show, MMO Coin, Spectre Security Coin, X42 Project, and Your Crypto Daily. Make sure you guys could go check them out. Proud supporters of the show. Again, another congratulations to the 5 individuals who won a masternode worth of X42. I've sent 3 out so far. I just need to get the wallet addresses from the last 2, so just waiting on you guys. I'll email you guys again today. We're going to be giving away a free t-shirt. So over the weekend, so we'll probably give that away on Sunday evening or Monday morning, and we're going to start the next coin giveaway on Monday. We're going to give away a bunch of MMO, which is another proof of stake coin. It's actually got tiered proof of stake, so we'll talk about that a little bit. We'll talk about that a little bit on that day. If you guys have any graphic, writing, or videography skills, we're still looking for people to help support us. So if you guys would like to be involved and be a member of our community, feel free to hit us up at contact@krakencryptocurrency.com, or send me or any of the admins or mods in the Discord a DM. We would like you guys to hop on over in the Discord.krakencryptocurrency.com and keep the conversation going, because it's as much about the community as it is about the show, guys. So kind of the question of the day is, do you guys have any experiences with volume or volatility oscillators or confirmation indicators? What is your preferred indicator of choice for confirming a trend or for confirming a trade or for scaling into a position? How do you use it? What's your personal strategy? Let's have a conversation in the Discord about it, guys. Or if you don't, or if you're not in the Discord or don't feel like hopping in, leave it in the comment section, man. I'd be happy to respond to you guys and hear about what you guys got going on, man. I'm always interested to see new strategies, new techniques, because that's what it's all about, man. It's not about copy pasting. It's not about copy pasta trading. It's about developing your own strategy and suite of indicators or analysis. So that's the question, man. Do you guys like Waddah Attar? Do you guys have a better indicator? Leave your answer in the comment or come on into the Discord. Typical stuff at the end of the show. If you guys would like to trade along with myself, the other traders and analysts at Kraken Cryptocurrency, you will get access to all our trade signals and setups. You'll get access to my suite of indicators. You'll get access to my webinar series designed to teach and enhance your trading skills, as well as our database library, our live trades tracker, and your own trading journal. You guys can check out premium.krakencryptocurrency.com if you would like to trade along with our group. Let's see. I think that's about it. Make sure you guys hit that like button. If you want to come on over to twitch.tv/Kraken Crypto, give us some support, a follow and a sub on there. We highly appreciate the support, guys. So that's all for me. Again, I hope I've helped crack some cryptocurrency for you guys. And until tomorrow, I will be back here at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. You guys make sure you trade safely, and I'll see you tomorrow.